Hey fam, how you all doing? Hope you all are having a fantastic week so far. So today's video is about women giving us reasons to us why they called off their weddings at the last minute.
So a year ago today, I got engaged, and 7 months ago, I broke off the engagement.
I was in a 10-year relationship. I was engaged for the last 2 years of it, and 2 weeks prior to the wedding, we broke everything off.
Am I the asshole for calling off my wedding because my fiance has a crush on my best friend?
They came online to share with us the reasons behind their actions. There's this saying that goes this way: a failed engagement is way better than a failed marriage. If you're with someone and you're having a second thoughts, you're second guessing your decision, you're not sure if that is what you want to do, even if it's a minute before the wedding and you don't feel like going ahead with that wedding, go ahead and call it off. What's the worst thing that can happen? People are going to get upset. You're going to spend money without using it, because obviously for it to happen on the wedding day, you've paid for venue, you have your guests around. It might come off as an embarrassment. Some people might feel like you let them down, or some people might say you disgraced yourself and your family. It's okay. It's better done that way than saying, oh, you don't want to hurt people, what will people say, and then you go on with the wedding, and at the end of the day you end up having a failed marriage. So think about it.
What do I do with my engagement ring? Called off my wedding, as you guys know. I still just have the engagement ring. I don't know what to do with it. I oscillate between wanting to just sell it, make some money, keep it, maybe something will come to me years down the road, or turn it into a new piece of jewelry. But I also feel like that is keeping the energy of that relationship within that piece of jewelry, even if it's new. I don't know, but I just feel like it's just sitting in a drawer, and I feel like I need to do something with it. It's real gold. It's a real diamond. Has anyone called off their engagement and done something with theirs? Let me know.
If you call off your engagement, what are you supposed to do with the ring? Should you return the ring to the man, or should you keep the ring with you? I've seen cases where some women held onto the ring. They said it's what they got from the relationship, especially when the ring is very expensive. Some women don't return the ring. Why some other people of the opinion that the ring is from the man? Give him back his ring. Give him back his bad luck, give him back his good luck, whatever they might attach that ring with. Please let me know your opinion on that. Should the ring be returned to the man, or should you keep the ring with you? And keeping the ring with you, does it mean that remnant of that relationship is still with you? Because that ring symbolizes a lot. Engagement ring is a statement piece. It symbolizes a lot, if you get what I mean statement piece when it comes to relationships and all that, so it symbolizes a lot. For me personally, I think if you can afford return the ring, bury everything that has to do with the relationship and move on completely. Don't move on with the remnant of the relationship. This is my personal opinion, and if you feel like selling the ring, still go ahead and sell the ring. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but just to suggest to you. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Your like is very important. I know I don't say this all the time. I tend to forget. Please like the video so the algorithm can push the video for me, and other people will get to learn from the video as well.
So a year ago today, I got engaged, and 7 months ago, I broke off the engagement. And here's a couple things that I learned. Number one, being single is not as scary as I thought. I truly wish I could go back to me of 8 months ago and sit down and be like, I know that this is really hard. I know that this is really scary. I know you're afraid of being alone and living alone, but you're thriving. Number two, being lonely by yourself is so much better than being lonely in a relationship because you're just not with the right person. Number three, you don't regret the time that you spent with this person because you truly did have good moments and you truly did learn about what you do want in a partner, but you also learned how you will not be treated, and you learned the things that you will not stand for. And number four, time keeps moving, you move on, you're doing fine.
Let's talk about feeling single in a marriage. You're married, but you're single. Yeah. If you get with the wrong person, you're most likely to feel that way because you guys are not connecting emotionally, mentally, and otherwise. You guys are not aligning. Probably your lifestyle does not suit his own lifestyle. Your ideologies are not same as his. I'm not saying that you should get married to your replica, no, but get married to someone that is on the same wavelength with you, someone that is on the same frequency. You vibrate, you guys are resonating, you guys can understand each other, if you get what I mean. So if you don't find yourself in such a situation and you find yourself with someone that is totally opposite and you guys are not vibing, you're most likely to feel single in that relationship. I've spoken about women that are married but they are single. They're single because they have to do everything by themselves. They have no support whatsoever. They might have the man supporting them financially, but they don't feel like they are in a relationship. All them emotional support that comes with a relationship, that feeling of having someone, having a companion, having your person. A lot of women that feel single in their relationship don't have that, and they carry a lot of burden. They internalize a lot of things because they don't feel comfortable sharing with this person. So you have to be sure that the person you've decided to marry, you have a deeper connection with that person. It's very important. It's very, very important. And if you feel like you're already engaged with this person and you don't feel that way, it's not still too late. I know some people might say it's never late. Even if you get married, you want to get divorced. Let me tell you something. Divorce has its adverse effect on the couple, on the individual, be it a man or a woman. So just to avoid all them stuff, why don't you just cut it off right now? If you can. Don't focus on what people will say. People will always talk. People will always have opinion about whatever you do. That's the truth. You talk, they will talk. You don't talk, they will talk. So why should you base your happiness on what people are going to say? It's all about you. Even your parents will not be in that marriage with you. They might be giving you advice, but ask yourself, does this align with what I want as an individual? Because the truth here is this: when push comes to shove, all they can do is advise you and go back to their homes, their respective homes, and stay. You will be the one to face it.
Never ever settle. So I was engaged to another person before I met my husband, and I was around 28. And of course I thought I was going to turn into an ogre if I didn't get married before I was 30. And for some reason, I just knew that this was not the person that I was supposed to be with. I knew that I was supposed to be with somebody else. And so I was on the phone with my mom one day. She was about to write me a check for $15,000 to put a deposit down on the venue. And I called her and I was like, look, I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married. And looking back on it, I definitely didn't want to marry this person. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't feel supported. I felt like I would have to financially support us or do 50-50 for the rest of my life. And I didn't feel like I could go to this person and be like, hey, I want to try something new, or I don't want to pay bills right now, or give me $1,000. Like, I didn't feel like I could go to that person and say these things. And so I broke off the engagement. I was single for a little while, and then I met my husband. And now my husband, I can call him right now and be like, hey, I want to become a flight attendant. And he'd be like, yes, drop everything. Let's do it. Or I want to be like a karate instructor, or I want to get my PhD. And my husband's like, yes, I'm motivated. Let's go to the gym. Let's go running. Let's do all this stuff. My husband's very motivating for me. He knows how to push me. He knows me. And I just didn't feel that with anybody else. And I'm so glad that I waited until I was 34 to actually get married, because it just felt right. It felt like the right thing, and it still does. So never settle, because I'm telling you, right around the corner is the exact person that you're supposed to be with, the person that'll motivate you for the rest of your life to be the best version of yourself. So good luck.
I've seen cases where the woman saw a lot of red flags. She knows from the get-go that this relationship is not going to be a good one, but she remained in the relationship. And I've heard people give reasons like, oh, we've come this far, what will people say, we've met our family, we've gone so far, we can't go back again, we have to move on and get married. And you would hear them say, oh, he's going to change. The reason why he's doing what he's doing is because he's single. When he gets married, he's going to become more responsible. I don't think it always works for everyone, honestly. I think it's best for you to judge someone based on what you're saying right now. I know sometimes when it comes to finances, things change. One thing that is constant in life is change, but when it comes to someone's character, someone's personality, I think you should judge a person based on what you can see at that point in time. Do not get into a relationship with someone hoping that the person is going to get better. Don't get into a relationship and fall in love with the person's potential, what the person can do in the future, not because you guys discussed it, not because you sat down and discussed with the person told you that, okay, these are what I can do in the future, these are what I want to do. Sometimes people do have such conversations, but I'm talking about those ones that you figure in your head, or you've already mapped things out in your head for this person without the person's knowledge and even consent. Because this person is like this, or this person can be this person can do this person can get better, and at the end of the day it doesn't turn out that way. You end up being frustrated in the marriage and you become resentful. So it's best for you to accept someone for who they are, and if they end up changing, it becomes a bonus, it becomes an added value. You get? So do not be with someone and falling in love with the person's potential. That's definitely going to hurt you, because people don't change for you, they change when they want to change. You cannot change anybody when the person does not want to change.
I was in a 10-year relationship. I was engaged for the last 2 years of it, and 2 weeks prior to the wedding, we broke everything off. It wasn't that I realized in those 2 weeks that we weren't compatible, including lifestyle plus other issues. It was that it was a long time coming, and it took me a really long time to choose myself until I chose myself. I kept thinking and convincing myself that things would get better, that as time went on, he would change. And that's the thing that I learned, that people don't change for other people, they change for themselves. And I was dating him and being with him for his potential and what he could be, instead of just seeing who he was and who he was showing me right then and there. To give you guys a little background, we were college sweethearts, so we were growing together, and then it wasn't until we graduated college that we started living together that I saw more of who he was, that we started growing apart. And that's when the issues started coming up. And what I can say is that when you don't have peace of mind, that's how you know that it's your time to leave. And I ignored my intuition for a really long time until I didn't.
Living with someone is totally different from meeting the person on the street, saying hello, hi. You can meet a man or a boy and you guys are cool. You meet in class, you meet in your church, you meet in public places. You guys are hanging out, having good time, fun time, everything together. I tell you, there's a possibility of that relationship getting bad, going south, once both of you start living in the same space. Living in the same space with someone opens up a lot about the individuals in that space. You get to know the kind of person he is. Is he a dirty human being? Is he responsible? Does he look after himself or herself and stuff like that? I know that people do say, oh, it's important for you to move in with a guy, then you get to learn each other and all that. That has its bad side, its cons, you get what I mean? And I'm not in support of that. There are other ways to figure out how a man is when it comes to how he lives in his space. You can do that by visiting him, by frequenting his place, getting to see how he does his things, showing up unannounced, because what people do when they are aware that you're coming, they will quickly clean up. Just show up unannounced and see if he's actually a clean person, if he takes care of his space. Put your nose on the floor. When I say put your nose on the floor, I'm not saying you should be on the floor sniffing. Let your eyes be on the ground. Like, observe, be very observant, so you can make an informed decision about the person and the relationship, if this is a person I truly want to be with. People can pretend outside. People can dress nice, wear the most expensive cologne, the most expensive outfit, make their hair look flashy, look good, but their space tells a lot about them. I've seen people looking good, dashy and all that, but if you go to where they stay, it's not even about them having money or whatever with regards to where they stay, but how clean the place they stay is, how responsible they are with their space, how creative they can be. Because some people, they feel like they can only have a better space when they have the whole money in this world. When they have money, they don't even think about improving their space. They would rather spend it on clothes and other things rather than improving their space. And you're waiting for when they have that big amount of money, that money bag, that's when they can look for a better place. People that reason that way, there's a lot that goes through their mind, and it says a lot about them. You get? So there's a whole lot you can learn from sharing a space with someone. Meeting someone on the street is totally different from living with a person in a space.
But when a woman ends a relationship, she already had tapped out a while ago, but she's hanging around just in case you decide to just wake up, appreciate her. And so therefore when she ends it, she's done, been done.
Yeah.
So when a guy goes, right, you women are cold, you know, you just just end it and you're done.
It's not been a split decision.
It's like, my dear, I had to think about my children, I had to think about my family, think about your family, think about like everything. Like me is the last person. And it's like, so for me, it took a lot to end it. And I just knew, based on just observation and the environment, that this person doesn't have any desire to grow. This is who they are. And I'd grown so much from when I met him that we just were on different pages.
I think a lot of the time when women end relationships, it's not irrational.
No.
I feel like there'd be a A4 pad somewhere with notes that you've taken reflecting. I feel like you would have had group chats. I feel like you would have been discussing it for time rather than just, you've got on my nerves, I'm gone. I feel like sometimes with us men,
it's not an impulsive decision.
With men, I think a lot of the times ours is based on a reaction.
Yeah.
You know what? You disrespected me.
I'm done. And then 10 minutes later you come back.
And we're saying we're done in the hope that you now react to that and show us that, you know what? No, but baby, come back.
Babes, I want you.
Women don't just wake up and end relationships. That's the truth. And one thing about women is this might not apply to all women, but I think this is common amongst women. One thing about them is they pass message across. They tell the man in so many ways possible. They vocalize it. They tell the man, this is how I'm feeling, this is what you're doing, can you reconsider? And most of the time, these complaints, all these things do fall on deaf ears. Those men don't listen. So when the woman is tired, women are good at giving long ropes, you know what I mean? They give you that time to change because they're being hopeful. They always want the best out of a situation. So once that time has elapsed, they can't take it anymore. That's where you see the woman packing up her bags. And before she packs up her bags and says she's going, she doesn't want this, she wants to end it, best believe that that woman has thought it twice, has reconsidered her decision. She has slept over it for a long time. She has rationalized her decision. She has viewed it from different angles. And she has come to the conclusion it's time for her to go. And before she packs her bag and leaves, know that she has already checked out mentally. She was just there physically to fulfill all righteousness. So from what the man said, so men are very reactive. Or you can insult them, they want to end it based on that. Who does that? That means they don't really value relationships. Because how can you end a relationship over someone being rude to you? Most women don't function like that.
Man cancelled his wedding because his fiance refused to reveal who gave her an iPhone 13 Pro Max. The man called off the wedding. Like, he called off the wedding because she refused to tell him who gave her an iPhone 13 Pro Max. So, for me, do you think it is right for him to call off the wedding because of an iPhone 13 Pro Max? Was he right or was he wrong? In your opinion, what do you think? Drop your what you think in the comment section and let me know.
Am I the asshole for calling off my wedding because my fiance has a crush on my best friend? I want to know if I'm making a mistake by pulling the plug on my relationship. I am 25 and my fiance is 28. We were planning to get married in September. However, I did notice that he was acting different around my best friend. He was a bit nervous and shy around her, and he kept looking at her and for her. And he would also randomly bring her up in conversation. After too many signs that something was up, I finally grilled him about it, and he finally admitted that he did have a little crush on my best friend. I asked him why, and he said that because she was fun and funny and pretty and adventurous. But that he loved me and he was just waiting for the crush to go away. And that definitely crushed me. Before I met my fiance in high school, I had a huge crush on this guy for literally like 3 years straight, and I would tell my best friend everything. She ended up hooking up with him and keeping it a secret from me. She told me that it was a mistake, but to keep the secret from me, she told my friends that I was a crazy jealous person so that they would keep the secret from me too. And as a result of this, a lot of people, like our friends, started to distance themselves from me. By the end of senior year, she said that I wasn't being a good friend at that time, so that's why she decided to do that, but we ended up making up and becoming friends again. I just really don't feel ready to get married with him confessing that and my best friend's past, but if I do cancel the wedding, then I will be wasting a lot of money. I told my fiance that I needed space, and he's been blowing up my phone begging me to not leave him. He also told my best friend that I was making a mistake by getting cold feet, but I don't think he told her why I was wanting to call off the wedding, and I don't think he told her about the crush. I just want to know, am I the asshole for calling off the wedding?
Let's talk about the guy calling off the wedding because someone gave the wife-to-be an iPhone. That is obviously an incomplete story. We don't have a full story, but I'm going to speak based on what she said. I think that video reaffirms what the other guy said about men being reactive. They just react, or you insulted them, they react and they act on it. Women are more responsive than reactive. They respond to situation rather than react. So if that's the case, then men have a lot of growing up to do, because I see no reason why you would just throw away a relationship that I would want to believe means something to you. I don't know how long you've been able to cultivate that relationship, and then because of a phone, that's if he's not having a suspicion that the lady is cheating on him. I don't know if that is not part of it. Then because of a phone, you're calling off an engagement. That's crazy. Maybe to him, he's saying it to be disrespectful. Oh, this lady is disrespecting me. She's not following my command or instructions. That could be how he's perceiving it. That's a very bad way for a man to think of the lady he wants to marry. Anyways, who am I to tell them what to do in their relationship? So for the other story, the lady's talking about her best friend. Her friend has a problem, and the husband sounds like a high school boy. How can a matured man be talking about crushing? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And the friend is not a good friend. She's never been a friend. I don't know why people can't clock people's game. I don't know why people can't clock envious people, frenemies. You have enemy within. Them best friend, besties, some of them don't like you. They're just there to watch what you're up to and destroy the good things that are about to come into your life.
I called the wedding off 7 days before it was supposed to happen. And while that is a long loaded story for another time, there's something about that I wanted to share has been impacting me a lot lately. Right after I called the wedding off, I was searching and reaching so desperately for some semblance or sign that everything was going to be okay. And for me in that moment, okay meant I ended up with somebody else, somebody better, and my life looked like the fairy tale that it was supposed to look like just 8 days before that. And now suddenly I'm 7 days before the wedding and my whole life is shattering around me. I found out he was cheating on me with somebody I considered a friend. So that's the reasoning behind it. And it was one of the easiest decisions I've ever made because there was no part of me that wanted to tell my future children, don't worry if you're getting cheated on, daddy cheated on me, we're all good. And everyone's story is different and people recover from infidelity. But for me, 7 days before I said vows to somebody and committed my life to them, I definitely didn't feel comfortable moving forward with that. And so after that, I found myself searching for signs and asking people constantly if they knew someone that had experienced something similar, like when was everything okay for them again? Or how what was their stories ending? Or are they married now? And I remember one, a former boss in particular had said to me, yeah, I have a friend, the same thing happened within, in a year. She met the love of her life and she was married and everything was wonderful. And I hung on to that hope. And what's crazy is it's now been 7 years since I called my wedding off. And if you had told me in those moments after, oh, hey girl, in 7 years, you're still not going to be married. You're not going to have found this person that you needed to complete you. I think it might have ruined me. Like, it would have done some significant damage because I was looking and grasping so desperately at needing this answer. But now, 7 years later, I've found a love for myself that I've never had before. I found the person I was looking for, and that person was me. And that has had to involve a lot of additional beginnings and endings, a lot of additional heartbreak, a lot of things that if somebody fast forwarded in a crystal ball and said, oh, hey, yeah, guess what, girl, you're 7 years out and still don't have that thing that you think you need to be happy, I wouldn't have wanted to hear that. But I'm here to tell you now that no matter where you find yourself, your path is already set. You already have everything you want within your higher being. Your highest self already has it all. And worrying about finding security only holds you in the past. My life did not turn out the way that I thought or I even hoped it would when I called my wedding off 7 days before it was supposed to happen. But in almost every single way, it's been better. So choose to believe that. The best is still yet to come, and our very best days have not happened yet. And we could not write them up any better than the universe already has planned, even if we tried.
There's a lot of viral news of celebrities ending their engagement these days. And as someone who has been through the horrible experience of calling off their wedding, I want to take a minute to talk about this. I think the most valuable lesson that we should all take away is that engagements are not the final, no turning back stage of a relationship. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's your last chance to decide on whether or not you choose this person to be your forever. Because during this time, along with the excitement of starting this new chapter with your special someone, it is also the time where you get hit with the reality that I am going to start a new chapter with this person. And it's not just any new chapter. It's a chapter that, at least in this country, is very hard to get out of. So because of this reality, you start to get hit with all of the red flags that you used to be okay with. And then you start to think to yourself, I am gonna have to live with this shit for the rest of my life. So then you start considering, should I call off the engagement? Should I postpone the wedding? And then you're faced with even more stress because it's not just a stressful breakup, it's a stressful breakup of an engagement, which means all of the logistical nightmares that you have to consider. We've already sent out the invites, people have already bought their tickets, we've already made the down payments, my wedding dress is already made. And that's just scratching the surface of all of the things that one goes through, like in their mind, before they actually decide to call off their wedding. And I imagine it's a lot worse when you're a public figure and everybody's like looking at you. So if you're on the receiving end of this unfortunate news, I ask you to please be kind. Keep your assumptions and accusations to yourself. That's it. Bye!